everyone, and welcome or welcome back to the channel. This is Carmina, and today we are going to talk about cards, playing cards, the 10 of clubs. Okay, before that, let me just quickly remind you that you could give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Life is short. Hit that subscribe button. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna continue our series on looking at each and every card of the 52 card members of a regular playing card deck. But this regular and common card deck can be used for divination, can be used through various methods. You know, there are cards of life, cards of truth, cards of destiny, several systems that use the plain and simple yet complex playing cards. So today is the turn of the 10 of clubs. First, we're going to look at the general meanings, the energy behind the 10 of clubs. We're going to be looking at its numerical significance. We're going to be looking at astrological correspondences, and then we'll look at the underlying, overlying cards, and we'll proceed to the birth card, 10 of cards. We'll look at the ecliptic, at some important things there. So without further ado, let us proceed. Okay, the 10 of hearts. We see a 10. We talked about the 10 of diamonds before in this series, and we know that 10s are pretty special because they are kind of a gateway between the pip cards and the court cards, because they are the only pip card that has a double digit. And they are very powerful because the 10s always show the reward. So we have the cycle from 1 to 9, and then at the 10 we reap the rewards of that suit. So whenever we see a 10, we, are in our mind, it has to pop, okay, rewards, fruit of something. And when we look at its numerological significance, the 10 is comprised by 1 and 0, so it's a restart. It's the end of the cycle, but also kind of a reset. Whenever we see the 10, we have to think also at the correspondence with the Magician card in the Major Arcana in Tarot, because the black 10s correspond to the Magician and the red 10s to the Wheel of Fortune. So when we see this 10 of clubs, we know that, okay, it's a moment in time when the person is doing magical things, is making magical things happen. And that magical thing relates to the club suit. So their inspiration yields fruit. They're making very fantastic things with their inspiration. The 10s are always correlated to the ecliptic card in the cards of truth. They are kind of like the 10th cusp in astrology. They're like, with the 10th house is very important because it's an action house, the 10th house. It's a upachaya house also, because it yields its results after great efforts have been made. So these rewards are not coming without work. They're not just coming out of the blue. All your investments, all your effort that you put into a certain suit, and in this case in the club, so all the projects that you started, all your inspiration that you invested, everything that you worked on to improve on your ideas, on your intellectual pursuits, then at the 10 you have the chance, the opportunity to get the rewards. The 10 of clubs has as an underlying card the Jack of Spades, which is a pretty tough card. It's the soldier, orphan card. It's somebody who takes a lot of risks, who has to do whatever it takes to survive. So this 10 of clubs stems from this stressed energy, yes? And we'll see that the 10 of clubs, as well as its underlying and overlying cards, are black. So it's a lot of work with this Ten of Clubs. Well, we see it, okay, it's a reward, but it's a reward that stems from a lot of effort. The overlying card for this Ten of Clubs is the Four of Spades. So after the person has gotten the rewards for doing their fantastic deeds in the world, then there comes a moment of peace, a moment of balance with themselves, with the persons themselves. The person feels secure, the person feels safe, the person feels at peace with themselves. Then, if we look at the Ten of Clubs as a birth card, I have to say it's one of my favorite birth cards because they have an amazing spread. There are so many celebrities with the Ten of Clubs birth card, like you can't believe it. From singers, you know, Madonna is a Ten of Clubs, Justin Bieber is a Ten of Clubs, Lana Del Rey is a Ten of Clubs. I actually wrote an article 2 years ago about the Ten of Clubs because I was so enthusiastic about the cards, and I'll link it below. The Ten of Clubs days in the year are January 30th, February 28th, March 26th, April 24, May 22nd, June 20, July 18, August 16, September 14, October 12, November 10, and December 8. Okay, so we see here at the Ten of Clubs birth card that their ecliptic, their path in life is the Seven of Hearts. And this path is especially important for a 10 card because, as we mentioned, the 10 relates to the ecliptic card and also to the 10th cusp. So we see here that always they will be on the path of heartbreak. The Seven of Hearts is like a heartbreak, like the death of love, or to put it more lightly, emotional disappointments. So their attachment to emotional validation always gets tested. It's a pretty tough path to walk, but as I said, there are a bunch of very successful people with this birth card, so they must be doing something right. So the trick here is not to succumb, not to victimize yourself, not to become a slave for emotional validation, but just when you have like a disappointment of the emotional kind, just let it go and move on. That is the trick for the Ten of Clubs. And we see that their spread is pretty amazing. They have an Eight of Diamonds Sun card, which means their kingdom is built from on bringing out value from within. It can be a very successful card. Then the Moon is a King of Spades. That's a pretty tough card for the Moon, but it makes them stronger because it makes them overcome limitations when they adapt to life, to life's various changing situations. And then on the Mars card, they have a nice Three of Hearts. That's being disciplined, taking calculated risks, and flying apart when it's necessary, pursuing another passion when it's the right thing to do. And then they have a great Ace of Clubs on the Mercury card, so now their style of managing things is always coming up with new ideas, with new innovations. Their Jupiter card is their broader vision. That's the Queen of Clubs, which is always managing, making inspired choices. Their Venus card is also pretty tough because spades are, of course, the toughest suit. They're the least fun and the most hardworking, so they have to work hard in order to get their rewards in relationships, in order to get their fulfillment. But when they do, they do. Okay? And then on the Saturn card, they have this Five of Clubs, which is overcoming difficulties, improving on your ideas, destroying crisis situation by improving on your projects and your ideas. So not too shabby, I would say. whenever we look at a card spread and we see many face cards, it means okay, the energy of that person are more focused, because of course the face cards are good in any position. The face cards, the aces, the tens, they all have this in common: they are good in any position in the birth spread. Because we were talking that odd cards are not good in this position, even cards are not good in this position. But when we talk about those cards, about the aces, the tens, and the face cards, they are wonderful to have everywhere. And as Rachel was noticing, when we have a face card, it always will energize the pip cards as well, okay? So thank you for watching. That's about it for today. If you like the cards presented in this video, there is a link below and you can order yourself a deck. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new card. Bye!